ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها.
So I'd like to thank the leaders of the UAE and give my appreciation and gratefulness for the leadership and the vision that they have for the country. So for 25 years I've experienced amazing lifestyle but amazing business opportunities for myself and my family. So I think I speak on behalf of myself and all the employees of EasyTrack in how grateful I am that we have such great visionaries and leaders who care so much for the citizens of this country, and where everybody in this country is treated equally and we all feel passionately, part of the UAE. And for me, I do feel I do call this my home, and I do see myself staying here for the long run. I see my kids growing up here and being adults here as well. So it's an amazing country to have lived in, it's an amazing country to live in, and I'm very excited about what's in store for the future.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Peers of Union, the program that highlights the success story at the heart of the UAE. Moving home is officially one of life's stressful experiences, and in a city like Dubai especially, where people are constantly on the move, someone had to make it up with a smarter way to do it. Back in 2009, today's guest did exactly that. The CEO of EasyTrack, the UAE's #1 moving and storage company with over 30,000 satisfied customers and 2,500 mobile storage pods across Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Let's welcome with me Mr. John Nolan. Mr. John, welcome to Peers of Union.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be.
Thank you, it's our pleasure having you with us today. And Mr. John, if you could please start with introducing yourself. Tell me more about your personal, your professional experience, even your background in education.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born in Ireland, in Dublin, in Europe. And when I was 12 years old, my family emigrated to Australia. So I often tell people I'm a mix between Irish and Australian. I went to university in Australia. I did a Bachelor of Commerce, so a business degree. And then I returned to Ireland at the age of 21, and I worked in PricewaterhouseCoopers, the accounting, the world's #1 accounting practice. And I was an accountant for about 7 years there. And when I was about 30 years old, I was looking for my next challenge. And I was interested in traveling internationally and getting some experience internationally. So I found myself taking a job in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia, and worked in Al Marai, a very famous dairy food company. And I had 6 amazing years working in Riyadh, in Saudi, for Al Marai. It was an amazing company to work for, and it was an amazing, very interesting time in Saudi as well. People ask me now, there's a lot of changes happening in Saudi, but honestly, it was a very enjoyable period of my life living in the early 2000s in Saudi. And then after 6 years, I was looking for another challenge, and I obviously knew Dubai well at that stage, having lived in Saudi. So I came to Dubai, and I've been in Dubai pretty much ever since. Apart from 1 or 2 years out, I've been in Dubai since 2006. I worked in Transguard Group, which is a company owned 50% by Emirates Group and 50% owned by Al Hel Holding in Abu Dhabi. I worked there for 8 years. I was the group CFO, and then I was the group CEO. Had another very enjoyable time, 8 years with a company that had great success, and I enjoyed being part of that. After that, I went back to Saudi again, to Jeddah this time, and worked for a family in Jeddah, helping them restructure their company. And I was there during COVID, so I did 3 years, 3.5 years back in Saudi, between mainly in Jeddah and Riyadh, which was another good experience. Saudi had changed a lot by that stage. But after that, I was looking for a new challenge, and I'd been working at senior level leadership roles for maybe 15 years at that stage, mainly as a group CEO. And I was chatting to a friend of mine who owned this business, Easy Track. We'd been speaking actually for a few years and talking a lot about, he was trying to get me to come into the business. So that was 2022. And I decided that I would, buy into the business and take 50% of the business he had founded, which is Easy Track Moving and Storage. And I have been the CEO since then, and a 50% shareholder with the founder, Chris Humphrey.
So how have you felt when you became a CEO? Was it something that you were planning to happen, or it just, let's say, it happened by coincidence?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I definitely had aspirations to be a CEO. And I was very lucky that I worked for a great mentor, but I became a CEO earlier than I expected. So I was very happy to become a CEO, even though it took on a lot of extra pressure, a lot of extra challenges. But at the time, it was a very satisfying achievement.
Yeah. And let's say, who was the people behind you who have supported you throughout this pathway?
I've had a few different mentors over the years. And I mean, I think in every company that you work in, you tend to have had people that contribute to your growth. So if I was to even go back to my early days, there was in PricewaterhouseCoopers in Ireland, there was a couple of partners, Paul Chute and Dennis O'Connor were their names, and they took a special interest in me and helping me to develop and achieve and learn quickly in those roles. In Al Marai Dairy, in Al Marai company in Saudi, the CFO at the time was a gentleman called Owen McBennett. He had a big influence on helping me to develop and giving me opportunities, pushing me. Sometimes, tough love, sometimes
easy love.
Easy love. And I would say then in the Transguard Group, it was the founder, Mike McGeever, who definitely played a huge role in my development. Outside of work, I have had an executive coach, a gentleman called Mick Todd, who owns a business called 2B Limitless, and he coaches senior executives around the world. And I worked with Mick back from 2009 onwards, and he was a big influence and help as well. And apart from that, I would say a lot of other leaders and CEOs and business owners that are friends or acquaintances have played a big role in helping me develop and learn and grow and become who I am today.
Yeah, and before you became a CEO, you had a lot of experience. So what do you think, if you look back at the time, was the most powerful skills that you have adapted?
For me, the best skills was learning how to lead and manage people. So I got very lucky, I think, when I first came to this region, and I came 25 years ago, I got an opportunity to be in a more senior position than I probably, would have had opportunities previously. And as a consequence of that, I found myself managing a group of people. I realized very early that if I was going to do my job well, I had to grow, develop, and help everybody in my team to become better at their jobs. So really for me, I've got a saying which I like to practice, which is you don't build great companies, you build great people, and great people build great companies. So for me, if you're going to have success in any job, it's through the people that you're working for you and the people working for them. So I put a lot of effort into trying to make sure I recruit the right people and then help them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if you could take me back to EasyTruck, tell me more about the vision behind EasyTruck, the services that you provide as well at EasyTruck.
So EasyTruck started in 2009. So that's 17 years ago. Chris, the founder, Chris Humphrey, and his wife Natalie, they saw, at the time in Dubai, there was no premium quality moving companies. In fact, back then, if you wanted to move something, a lot of people used to drive down to Satwa and find men in a truck and go, can you come to my house and help me move? There really wasn't a lot of the companies that exist in the market now in moving and storage, they were not around. So there was obviously expats wanting a higher quality of service, but it didn't exist in the market. So EasyTruck was created to bring a higher quality of service to the market. And if you think about, Emirates brought a higher quality of aviation to the world, but especially from this region. EasyTruck was born out of the same principle. It's like the customer wants a higher quality of service, but it's not here. So there's an opportunity for that. And that's how EasyTruck was created. Now, the very first business EasyTruck did was just moving. So people, if they needed, the original vision was if you need a couch or you need a fridge or anything in your house, you need even just a small piece of furniture, move from one place to another, you call EasyTruck. And that's how the name EasyTruck came about. It's like easy.
And something easy.
It's something easy, and we put it on the back of the truck, but you don't have to go to Satwa. You can call us and we will do it, and we'll do it in a professional, easier way. You don't have to stress, as you mentioned, stress on moving. Inevitably, the business became then more about not just moving one item or two items. It's like people started ringing up and asking, can you move my whole house? I'm moving from Jumeirah to Meadows or Springs, or I'm moving into the marina. So as Dubai started becoming bigger and bigger, and more people started moving here, and then everybody knows in Dubai and across, even in Abu Dhabi as well, because we operate across the UAE. We also have facilities in Abu Dhabi. Everybody knows that people move a lot. So even the new people come to Dubai, they go to one area, they try it out, but then after 2 years, they decide they want to go to another area. Yeah. And as the city has grown, new areas have popped up and people have moved a lot. So people move a lot in Dubai. So then the moving business became a very successful business for us. We gained the reputation of being the #1 company in Dubai for service. So we focused very much on making a customer experience as premium as possible, without putting too much extra cost on the pricing. But we identified that a lot of the market in Dubai, they wanted a high quality service. They want to know that the company that they are appointing, that it's an easy process to negotiate over the phone and get all the information and have a survey done and get your quote and sign up. They want that to be easy. But then on the day, which is the big thing, they want to have a company that's going to make the move as easy as possible. We can never take stress out of a move, but what we can do is reduce it, right? Yeah. So if you think about it, if you're a family and you have young children and you have a husband who's got a big job, so he's stressed at work, his wife is stressed at home, there's lots of kids there, it's a very stressful experience. So what we do is we focus on making that as smooth as possible. Our workforce are, very well trained, very polite, very good hygiene, very well presented, good communicators, and we do the job as quickly as possible, focusing on making sure that we protect your belongings. Yeah.
I would say this is the most important thing people are afraid of, protecting their belongings, because moving houses always end up with damaging some of your beloved stuff. Yeah.
Well, and I think everybody has bad experiences with moving, right? Yeah. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they pick their first move based on price. And they think, okay, that's a lower price, I will pick this company. They learn the hard way that, okay, we should have maybe paid more because these guys are not doing exactly what we would like. And you really don't feel like they're protecting or managing the transport of my items the way I would like. So we understand that we're responsible during that move for the belongings, not just like the furniture, but people's personal belongings. And they've got photos of family members, and they've got things that they cherish that you need to make sure that you don't damage in any way. So that's a big focus.
So I would say, if you take me back to the early days, I would think it was harder for the company at the beginning of the early days because of I would say the money difference first came. And then like you didn't have that much of clients at the beginning of Easy Trucks. So gaining that client's trust over the time, I think it was difficult at the beginning as well.
It was, and like any company is very difficult to start.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the budget to go out and spend a lot on marketing, right?
Yeah.
So really the focus very early on was to get the word out amongst family and friends, and then the word spread. So obviously you have a website, but how do you attract people to your website? You have to spend on marketing. So in the early days, it was very much of starting small.
Especially competing with Satwa drivers.
Especially with Satwa drivers, but starting small and doing a very good job, and then letting the word of mouth spread. And the thing is, the one thing about our industry, our sector is, if somebody is moving, they will tend to ask someone else, who did you use when you moved? Did you have a good experience? Yeah. So word of mouth is a very big thing. And even today, 50% of the work that we win is because of word of mouth. So people coming back to us. We have many customers that have used us 5, 6, 7 times. And they are our biggest supporters, because they are also telling everybody, just always use Easy Truck. And we tend to find, we think if we can get a customer, that 99% they're going to come back for us in the future. So yeah, it is very important. And that's why it started small, and then it just grew year and year and year, and suddenly
And now we have 30,000 comments and reviews on Easy Truck, yeah.
Exactly. So I also like tell you a little bit about the storage, because what happened is, after a while, we had a lot of customers asking, look, you're moving, but can you store our items? Because we're either be out of the country for the summer, or we're fixing up our house, or whatever reason, we need storage. So we saw the opportunity to get into storage, and we came up with our own model for storage, which is mobile storage. So it's very different than traditional storage. People think of storage, they think of a warehouse, and they think of a room inside a warehouse. We actually have pods, what we call, which stands for Portable On-Demand Storage, reinforced wooden boxes, and you can fit like a full bedroom's worth of belongings inside a pod. If it's a family of 4, you might need 5 or 6 pods. And we bring our pods to your location. We pack the pods there. We bring them back to our air-conditioned warehouses, and we store them in the warehouse. You can access if you want, and you can get anything out, and we'll help you get anything out. But when you're ready to have the items brought back, we bring them back, we unpack them, and we assemble everything there and then. So, Dubai and the UAE, people they like everything to be door to door, right? Yeah. If you want food, if you want medicines, you can ring, right? Now we bring storage to your door. Yeah. So we brought up this model of mobile storage, and it's been hugely successful.
And since when did you brought out the pods?
We introduced the pods in 2015.
I would say this is a very exceptional idea. I never heard of it before. Yeah.
It does exist in other countries. So in the USA, in Australia, and Europe, but it's a niche market within the storage market. But in other countries, you bring the pods and you leave them in someone's driveway, they pack them. But the UAE and Dubai being Dubai, people want us to pack them. Yeah. So it's been very successful for this market.
Yeah. And they come up with different sizes, or one size for like a...
Yeah, it's a very good question. So our standard pod is 5 cubic meters. And as I mentioned, you get like a disassembled bed and everything from a bedroom into that pod. We have extra large pod, which is 7.5 cubic meters. We have half a pod, which is 2.5, and we even have a quarter pod. So even if somebody wants a very small if somebody just wants to put some of their belongings for a wardrobe or golf clubs or sporting things, and they want to just store them away for the summer because they're traveling or they don't have the room, we have even a small part as well.
And they pay like monthly subscription, or is it weekly, daily?
It's a monthly subscription, monthly fees we charge.
Yeah. So I would say success always comes with obstacles. So tell me about obstacles that EasyTruck has faced throughout the way.
Wow. Well, like every company, success, the biggest challenge growing a business is financing and cash flow. One of the biggest challenges we have had, which all companies have, is inflation in the market. So as the buyers got bigger, so has the cost of doing business. So we have, especially, salaries have gone up, but also the big one has been rents. So storage capacity, we have 65,000 square feet of storage space across 4 warehouses in the UAE. Cost to rent those warehouses, the cost of the space has gone up hugely over the years. Yeah. So luckily, as we grow and we scale, we can manage that, but it does make it harder and harder for new entrants to come into the market. And like any business, it's having quality, it's keeping quality, sourcing the quality talent for your team and keeping the quality.
Yeah, I would say even to come with the prices as well, the prices of moving out has been changed over the years. So I think that has affected the customers as well. Especially I would say the all days customers, they would be telling you, oh, but John, you remember last year you gave me that, or 2 years ago.
It is a challenge, and that's that's how it's important to emphasize the value you're getting and explain to our customers that the prices have only gone up because the costs have gone up. We're not making any more profit, but the costs have gone up, and they understand that.
So I would say as well in the moving houses as well. So when mainly people tell you about like the stuff they have at their houses, they always, us as a people, we always try to reduce the number of the stuff, even the sizes. It's like an X large something, we would tell you it's just a medium size. So tell me about these stuff when it happened to you. How do you deal with the customers?
Well, the one thing I would say is every customer is unique. You cannot think that you can apply like a set of rules or even the same way of working with every customer. And this is very important because Dubai is, 100 different nationalities. The UAE, 100 different nationalities. And every nationality and every culture is very different. So the first thing is our team is trained and we are very focused on understanding our customers. When we do the survey and we estimate the volume of the items we're going to be moving or storing, we do our best estimate. And there is contractually a mechanism in there if there is more than either they informed us or and this has happened sometimes. We turn up and they're like, oh, by the way, I'm putting this and this and this in, and it's like, okay, but when we surveyed, this was not there. So we have to be practical and we have to compromise and reach an agreement with the customer, and it has to be reasonable for both sides. So it's not like we are insisting, okay, we're going to charge you this amount of extra. We will reach a compromise and it'll be a fair compromise for the customer.
So tell me more about, let's say, the strangest or the most memorable item you have ever moved.
We've moved some classic cars. We've moved, I think, because we also do international moving now. We also got into the international moving. So we move people's belongings now out of the UAE and into the UAE.
Is it like worldwide cover?
Worldwide cover. So we got into that a few years ago as well. And that's been on hold a lot since with the conflict recently, but now it's starting again. We had someone, I won't mention where they came from because I don't want to give too much information, but they had an incredible amount of memorabilia. Like they could have opened a museum for the amount of sporting memorabilia they had. They had signed gloves by Muhammad Ali and like a jersey by Michael Jordan, and they had like lots and lots of different stuff. And there literally was, they picked EasyTruck because they were saying, I know you'll do a good job, but my items are worth so much money to me and so much, like even if damaged,
it's
or
like priceless.
If you lose this, I cannot
replace it.
It. So yes, I want insurance. It actually took this customer, it was a high profile executive coming from one part of the region to the UAE. He said, I've checked out the market. I've rang a few companies, and I think I'm going to give you the business because I trust you guys the most, because you will care for it so much. But you cannot understand how important it is that you do not damage and definitely don't lose anything. So that was one interesting thing. I would say. We've done lots of cars, transporting cars, and obviously people also internationally transport their pets, which we would use a partner company. But when people are transferring their pets, they're very precious about their pets because it's like a family member as well. And one thing we have realized is people's belongings may not be valuable in monetary terms, but they're very valuable in for their personal strings and hearts. And sometimes you're moving a piece of furniture that you might not think is that important, but it's been given to them by their grandparents or something like this. So every customer is unique, and this is why we have to treat every customer with a lot of love and attention.
Yes, I was even gonna ask you, how do you deal with the human side of the business? Especially some people, I would say maybe they are moving houses, and then you go to that customer and then you see the emotions going out of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
on a personal level, I've moved a lot myself.
Yeah.
So I've moved in the UAE and I've moved in the region, right? So I understand the stresses of moving, and I can relate to the customers. But yeah, I mean, people can be very emotional on the day. And sometimes people may think even that something has gone missing. We may get a phone call in the evening after a move going, something has gone missing and maybe one of your team took it. And we have to be very respectful. Yeah. And we have to understand, like, look, we don't believe that will happen, but we'll certainly do our own investigation. But please, can you check everything again? And it always turns up, but the next day or whatever. But you have to be very compassionate and have a lot of emotional intelligence, because people can be very stressed during a move, and a small thing can trigger them, right? So our team are trained to manage that. And when in our business, in every business, the customer comes first, but 100% we have to practice this, and we have to be very patient and very understanding with customers. And if something goes wrong, sometimes some things do go wrong. This is very important, and I feel like the best companies are good not because of always doing everything perfect. Even in the best restaurant in the UAE, sometimes they make mistakes, right? Yeah. It's how you manage the customer when something does go wrong. So if something goes wrong, we are very focused on how we deal with the customer, being upfront and honest, and doing everything we can to resolve it as quickly as possible, and being very apologetic. That's something that you do get with us. Other companies, I'm not going to, I don't want to say anything negative about the industry, but maybe other companies will, pretend when something goes wrong and not even tell the customer. Yeah. We're very, very focused on making sure that if the rare time something goes wrong, we have to be very focused on resolving it and being very honest and upfront with the customer.
Yes. And where do you see the future for EasyTruck? And what's the future plans as well?
The vision for the UAE to keep growing, and we see the population growing in line with the government and the ruler's vision for the UAE. I see us continue to expand our three business lines of local moving, international moving, and especially storage. So storage is our big focus. We entered Abu Dhabi a year ago, and we now have a warehouse in Abu Dhabi, and we're winning new work, and we're expanding that warehouse now in the future. And I suspect we may have a demand in the future to build a warehouse or take a warehouse in Ras Al Khaimah. And then the question becomes, should we go into other parts of the GCC? So I have been approached by potential partners that want to bring us into other parts of the GCC, so especially Saudi and Qatar. So I think there is a good opportunity for us to go into Saudi and Qatar. We are very focused right now on our AI strategy. So like I think most companies are very focused on. Yeah. So we're looking at creating our own system where all of the EasyTruck's intellectual property will be maintained in the system, but it will make the business run much more smoother. And when we have that, then we will look at, I suspect, regional expansion. And there's a couple of other, business lines we could look at. We could look at expanding our storage, not just from mobile storage, but we could go into self-storage or provide other storage solutions as well. After that, maybe there's an opportunity to franchise our model because it is quite niche, it's quite specialized further in the region. But for now, we're very focused on the UAE.
Yeah, into getting bigger in the UAE. And Mr. John, if you could send a message to the young generation who would like to proceed into like logistic or home services, like moving out, what would you tell them?
Okay, well, I mean, I have 3 children myself, 2 that are teenagers. So this is a good question. I mean, what I would say, I heard a very good thing yesterday on a podcast, which was, young adults should not focus on what they're passionate about, but focus also on what you're good at. Because if you're a passionate footballer, maybe only a very small percentage of people are going to make a living out of this, but it's find something that you're good at and you're passionate about. And it'd be no surprise for me to say, figure out how AI is going to have an impact on this, because you're growing up in a world where, as a young developing human being, you can become an expert on AI way more than the older generation. So actually you have a huge opportunity to actually, whatever you're passionate about but also good at, become the AI expert in that. And I think you're going to find that you'll be very much in demand. And people like me and other leaders in the region or in the UAE will be looking for exactly your type of skill set. I can see EasyTrack in the future having a number of young people coming in that are going to help us a lot because they are AI experts.
And Mr. John, you have literally moved everywhere and finally chose the UAE to be your home. If there's a message you would like to send to the UAE leaderships, what would you tell them?
So I'd like to thank the leaders of the UAE and give my appreciation and gratefulness for the leadership and the vision that they have for the country. So for 25 years, I've experienced amazing lifestyle, but amazing business opportunities for myself and my family. So I think I speak on behalf of myself and all the employees of EasyTrack in how grateful I am that we have such great visionaries and leaders who care so much for the citizens of this country, and where everybody in this country is treated equally, and we all feel passionately, part of the UAE. And for me, I do feel I do call this my home, and I do see myself staying here for the long run. I see my kids growing up here and being adults here as well. So it's an amazing country to have lived in. It's an amazing country to live in, and I'm very excited about what's in store for the future.
Mr. John Nolan, thank you so much for this truly wonderful conversation. We have learned a lot from you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to everyone watching us, stay tuned with another episode of Peers of Union. Another peer is waiting for you next week, same time on Sama Al Ain TV.
ربت قروب للوطن هم سند لا تذكر